So, you have an anime for me? Yes, sir, I do. And you know how people really like survival games? Sounds great. Minecraft all the way. But what if all of humanity turned to stone and had to start over 2,000 years again in the future? Sounding a little less great there. No, well, you see, there's this kid Senku, right? Okay. And he's the first to awake from the petrification. Why is that? Because that works. And he wakes up his friend Taiju using nitric acid. What's that magic potion you just mentioned there? Right, so I should have mentioned this show is gonna have a lot of real science in it. Do you know anything about science? Not at all, but then I figured it's never too late to learn. You know, that's a great attitude. I'm proud. And then I realized I could just look up everything on Wikipedia. Or that also works, yeah. So Senku and Taiju were gonna experiment with the nitric acid until they perfect revival fluid for humanity. Tasty revival fluid. But then they get attacked by lions. What are they, in the Lion King? And then miraculously, there's a statue of Skaza, the strongest high school primate, just right there. Oh my gosh, the convenience in this show is unreal. Well, they live in a stone world, so okay, it's not like it's Amazon same-day delivery convenient, but it's still pretty good. And then they wake him up and Skaza kills the lion. Nice, I think. But then Senku starts to think that Skaza has an ulterior motive. Does he? Oh, absolutely. He only wants to revive the youth so that the world doesn't turn into a money-grubbing society a second time. As a member of a money-grubbing society, I take personal offense to that statement, but it doesn't necessarily make him a bad guy. He's gonna smash statues like he's the Hulk. Oh, no, never mind, this guy's just evil. So Senku and Taiju realize they gotta run for it, but first Taiju's gotta unfreeze Yuzuha. Oh, who's she? It's Taiju's crush, who he was gonna confess to just before the world got frozen. That is the ultimate rom-com protagonist ability. Anyway, Senku's gonna give Skaza the recipe for the revival fluid, and then Senku's gonna die. No, he's not. Yeah, not at all. He tricked Skaza, but he decides to stay dead and send Taiju and Yuzuha as moles in the Skaza Empire. Love a good mole, especially the ones I sticked on your vegetable garden. I don't have a vegetable garden. Oh, well, that was Ted in accounting. You must have been the wasp nest. Wait, that was you? Anyway, what does Senku do? He finds a village of very not frozen people. How are they alive? Cause astronauts or something. It's not really important. That sounds kind of important. Moving on, so we meet Kohaku, who's just crazy strong. Super strong! And Chrome, who's the scientist. Why'd you say it like that? Cause Senku's just gonna wipe the floor with him science-wise. You just gotta clean that dirty floor. Anyway, Senku's gonna realize that he needs to make an antibiotic to cure Ruri's sister Kohaku, who's the princess of the village. He's gonna what? And then he's gonna win a tournament and marry Ruri. That was almost the fastest wedding I've ever seen. And then uses his powers to immediately divorce her. That sounds more like it. And along the way, we're gonna meet this mentalist Gen. Who or what is that? Pretty much, he's just a musician, then Skaza sent him to make sure that Senku's dead. And does he report to Skaza? No, Senku bribes him by making cola, and he's a good guy now. Smart. Cola bribes are how I built this company. What? Why do you think you get that free six-pack every month? Cause I signed up for it. Ah, but who let you sign up for it? Not you. Can we get back to this? Very well, then. Tell me more about this Senku's exploits. Well, Christmas is gonna happen, right? Ooh, I like Christmas. What happens during that? Nothing really. It's just a cheap Christmas reference. Cheap Christmas references were what I built this company on. Okay, now you're just making these things up. Well, why do you think you have Christmas every year? Jesus or something? Well, who do you think? Okay, just stop before you offend anyone else. Alright then, what's the next giant plot twist of this show? Senku's gonna realize that the astronauts didn't get frozen. Really? I thought space was cold. No, like the petrification beam didn't get it. Ah, well, you should have specified the type of frozen. And Senku's father was an astronaut, right? That's what I call an amazingly, incredibly, astoundingly predictable plot twist. And so he left the villagers as foot soldiers for Senku. Now that is what I call inheritance. And so then we're gonna hit that a giant fight between Senku and Skaza is approaching. Oh yeah, where's that? In season 2, we're done. Dang it, I was just getting invested. Well, there seems like an easy solution to that. Kill you and suck the good idea juice out of you? No, I meant give me a second too, not whatever the heck you're planning. Or, well, I guess we could also do that. Yes. I do have to ask though, are you worried this show is maybe a little too sciencey for most people? Oh, it totally is. Everyone's gonna hate it. Or maybe everyone's gonna like it. No way in. So, you have a Dr. Stone season 2 for me? Yes, sir, I do, and let me tell you, this is just gonna be epic. Why is that? Cause wait for it. Hey, so, it's time for the Stone Wars. Oh yeah, the Stone Wars! What are those? Well, it's a fight between Nerd Boy's Science Kingdom and Super Muscle Man's Murder Kingdom. Oh, so they're battles! Oh yeah, there's a battle, alright. Are there tons of missiles, guns, and overall, you know, just war stuff? I think you're really underestimating what a war in the Stone Age is like. What do you mean? Sir, they fight with stone swords and stone spears. Pretty much it's all made out of stone, because it's the Stone Age. No, you've got to at least add a tank in there. A tank. Yes. In the Stone Age. I don't see why not. You can't see how that might be, just a teensy bit problematic. Listen, as a resident, totally not fake American, if there is a war, there must be a tank. I don't think that's how that works. George Washington himself used to say, men, in pursuit of liberty, we must roll over the British with our tanks. I don't think he said that. In order to have peace and happiness in the Union, we must not stop until every redcoat is under the boot of a tank. Okay, he definitely never said that. The British are coming! Bring in the tanks! Are you done misquoting George Washington? Not really. Well, can you please be done? Can you add a tank? Alright, one tank added to a Stone Wars battle. So we're gonna start out with Nerd Boy's team making space rations for the siege. Why space rations? Because I want to remind people about space. I don't think you need to really remind people about space. Most of the universe is made of empty space. Then Nerd Boy, Mental Boy, and fake Nerd Boy are gonna decide to make a telephone. Did these guys not all have names last time? Yeah, but I've since forgotten their names, so they don't have those now. Understandable. I mean, I don't even remember what I had for breakfast this morning. Ah, been there. I also don't remember which car is mine, so I just kind of take whichever one is closest to me. Wait, you what? So how do you make a telephone in the Stone Age? Nerd Boy's gonna make it happen. How though? Listen, do you want me to explain the science entirely incorrectly, or do you just want to accept that phones existed in the Stone Age? Alright, phones in the Stone Age. Got it. So then some people are gonna try to sneak the phones into Mole 1 and Mole 2. Mole who? Nerd Boy's old friends from high school. They left undercover in the Super Muscle Man's murder empire. And what are they doing there? Ah, well, you see, they visit Nerd Boy's grave and work to fix the murders caused by Super Muscle Man of the murder empire. Fix the what? Yeah, so they glue the people back together so they're no longer murdered. Does that work? Yes. Why does it work though? Because that totally, absolutely, incredibly works. Yeah, so back to the phone installation quest though. Alright, do they get the phone installed? Yes, they do, except fake Nerd Boy gets captured. Oh no, not fake Nerd Boy. And then Spear Dude's gonna hang him over a waterfall and Nerd Boy's gonna make a tank. I knew it was coming. But then fake Nerd Boy is gonna become real Nerd Boy temporarily and burst out of his cell. Aw, my boy's growing up. And so the day of the assault has come, right? And are they gonna march right up to Super Muscle Man and shoot him with a tank? Not exactly. You remember that cave with the nitric acid? Not really. The cave with the magic revival potions? Oh yeah, that cavey boy. Well, whoever controls the cave pretty much controls the world, so the science team has just gotta capture it. And do they? In like 30 seconds, yeah. Nope. What? You primed me for a battle. I need at least 2 episodes of battle. Do you expect me to somehow make 30 seconds last 2 episodes? Yes. Yeah, right, I can do that. And what do they do once they capture the magic potion cave? Well, Super Muscle Man and Spear Dude are gonna show up in the mood for murder. Oh yeah, and do they murder? What? No, this is a kid's show. This is a kid's show? How are you just realizing this? The bad guys literally work for the Murder Kingdom. Well, they don't actually murder. They just, kill people who are alive but frozen statues. Apparently, even in the Stone Age, you can't escape false advertising. And so the Nerd Boys gotta find a way out of the situation because they can't fight these 2 guys. Why not? Because for plot reasons, they're too strong and stop talking about it. Surely the whole army could just dogpile them. They can't. Why not? Because I need Super Nerd Boy to have a reason to make some dynamite. He makes dynamite? Yeah, and that wins the battle and the war. Winning a war with dynamite, George Washington would approve. Please don't misquote George Washington. In order to ensure peace and civility throughout our lands, use of dynamite to level Parliament to the ground is absolutely necessary. George Washington never even attacked Parliament. You know what? Why am I arguing with you? And so anyway, Nerd Boy's gonna use dynamite to free Super Muscle Man's little sister. Aww. And then Spear Guy's gonna try to kill Super Muscle Man. No, not Super Muscle Man, who was just evil a few seconds ago. And so the Nerd Boy and Super Muscle Man are gonna tag team Spear Dude, and then he's gonna end up electrocuted. Electrocuting for the win. It's just like what Nikola Tesla once said. No more incorrect quotes today, please. Sorry, those are the only kind of quotes I know how to do. And so Spear Dude's in prison, but Super Muscle Man is dead. Oh, now are they gonna save him? Why do you assume they'll save him? Because this is the kids show, remember? Oh, right, I did say that. What if they put him in cryo-freeze? Will that work? Not at all, but we'll say that it does. It's gonna be a tearful moment. Oh, very tearful indeed. And so now that Nerd Boy's kind of king of the world and all that, it's time to set sail to South America. But looking forward to this. It's a Stone Age vacation. What about going to South America as a Stone Age vacation? Going to the Caribbean for some relaxing with stones, I imagine. Well, no, they're going there because that's where the petrification beam that froze all of humanity came from. Oh, that, right. Are you still on that? It's kind of the crux of the show, so yeah, I'm still on it. Okay, then, does Nerd Boy still want to go to the moon in the Stone Age? Funny you should mention that. So, you have more Stony Doctor for me? Yes, sir, I do. And after the fall of the Skaza Empire, the Kingdom of Science is going to decide that they need to start doing stuff. What kind of plot stuff? Well, you know how the whole planet was enveloped in a petrification beam that turned the entirety of its populace into stone? Oh, yeah, the entire plot of the show, I vaguely remember that. Well, now, 3 seasons in, they're going to decide that, they kind of want to know why that happened. Oh, I've actually never really thought about it. Well, you're going to be thinking about it a lot now, because they're going to decide that they need a ship. Oh, they do? Yeah, and because they have a ship, now they need a captain. The greatest captain that ever lived in the land. Captain Jack Sparrow. No, we're talking a different great captain. Well, what about a naval captain? Surely they're used to sailing ships. Nah, they're gonna go for this rich, spoiled kid, Rysuui, instead. Why'd they pick him? Was there, no one else available? Well, they need someone who can steer a ship that isn't motorized, and that just happened to be his hobby, as, a very, very rich kid. And what's the real reason? Well, most naval commanders are gonna be in their 40s and 50s, and, this way we can keep all the main characters under 30. That sounds more like it, yeah. And so they're gonna wake up and realize immediately that they need some oil. Wait, I thought the ship was gonna be oil power free. Why do they still need the oil? Not important, so they're gonna make a hot air balloon to find the oil. Cool. And actually, while we're at a good stopping point, we are still very much in the middle of the story. I was thinking that, what if we split it here and kind of make it into an OVA kind of thing? Are you sure you want to cut it off before even a single plot thread has been resolved? Absolutely, I think that's what the fans would enjoy most. Well, you're probably right, and so then they're gonna realize they need food for the ridiculously long voyage. Makes sense. And so Ryusui's gonna decide that, hey, they need to wake up his his butler, but, you know, they're out of revival fluid. Oh no, what are they gonna do? Well, they're gonna get some from the reporter lady in exchange for, you know, making her a camera. Ah, and then they're gonna use that to revive the butler. Indeed they do, and now they've acquired food. Well, that is an important part of life for sure. And then eventually they're gonna find the oil as well. Wait, how do they find it? Oh, well, you know, listen to this. They're gonna do this really crazy thing where, you know, they find it. Whoa, I mean, that is just crazy, man. How did they even manage that? And so one day, as they're driving around their newly fashioned speedboat, you know, as you do, they're gonna hear like this Morse code thing over the radio. Is the Morse code like thing Morse code? Turns out it is Morse code, and it's spelling Y. Okay, what does that mean? Well, you know, you've got someone who's communicating over the radio, who's not them, and they're spelling out Y, so... You get what I'm putting down? Yeah, you know, I'm not really getting the significance of this. Alright, let me try this another way. They're gonna hear over the radio, why? Oh no! Yeah, and so now they know that someone who they're gonna dub WHYIS is definitely after them. Well, what are they gonna do about that? Oh, they're gonna just completely ignore it. Oh, that is one strategy for sure. And then everyone's gonna be setting off on the ship, but Ginro, he doesn't want to go. Oh, okay, what is he probably gonna have to do now? Well, no, he has to go, because, you know, he's the main character. Since when? Since always. And so, you know, in an attempt to look cool, he's gonna try to swim to the ship, even though it's far enough out that he knows he's not gonna make it, right? Oh, so you know he's not gonna make it. Well, no, because, you know, this is Dr. Stone, so Taiju's gonna pull just an amazing physical feat and swim to get Ginro and pull him back on the ship, yeah. Okay, cool. I do have one question for you, which is, you know, why should I care? Oh, yeah, you probably don't, but I really did need someone who was capable of cross-dressing, and there weren't really a lot of people that fit that list. What? So, you know, their plan is to go to South America, where the petrification beam first emerged from, but they've got to stop at this treasure island first. Ooh, treasure island, I like the sound of that. It sounds so, I don't know, treasure. Well, it turns out that, you know, the astronauts who survived the petrification beam actually left some very, very convenient stuff for Senku in the time capsule. Oh, some gifts, huh? We talking like maybe a Nintendo Switch? Well, there's platinum in there, and through my expert scientific knowledge, i.e., you Googled it. Shut up, and so platinum's the last piece of the puzzle they need to make the nitric acid, which makes the revival fluid. Oh, that sounds important. It sure does. Actually, though, it turns out there's one problem in that, though. What's that? The island is already kind of inhabited with people. I mean, sure, that makes sense. I mean, if that's where they landed, then surely their offspring would probably stay in the same place, especially if it's an island. Oh, yeah, did I mention they've got a spare petrification beam just lying around that they like to use on people? Whoa, 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 whoa. Why does this one random island, who happens to be very, very close to the main character's central headquarters, happen to have the petrification beam? Unclear, but they do, and so, you know, they're gonna freeze all of Senku's friends on the boat. Oh no, does that mean Senku's gonna get frozen too? No. Him, Ginro, Gen, Suika, Kohaku, and Soyuz, they're gonna manage to escape. Whoa, wait, who's this Soyuz guy? Oh yeah, he's, you know, he's been there, he's just, you know, we haven't really even gotten his name until now. Essentially, you had a background extra and decided to give him a character arc instead of writing someone new. Yeah, pretty much. And so then the main group, they're gonna meet this girl, Amaryllis, right? Oh, who's she? Well, you know, she's the prettiest girl on the island. Together, they're gonna make a plan to infiltrate the rear palace, because that's where the treasure box is hidden, I decided. Oh, that sounds like it'll be hard for them to break into a place called the Inner Palace. Actually, super simple. Barely an annoyance. Oh, really? Yeah, I mean, they're just gonna put dresses and makeup on Kohaku and Ginro, and, you know, problem solved. Just like that, huh? So they're gonna be on their own, or they have some methods of communication? Oh, well, they're gonna have this earring that they can use the radio receiver. Oh, cool. They're also gonna have these little tiny cars for transporting materials that, even though they have zero control to them, somehow are gonna manage to not fall off of very tall bridges without any safety rails. What? And so then Kohaku, she's gonna manage to find the platinum inside of the treasure box and send it all the way back to Senku and his team, so they've got the infinite revival fluid now. Well, so does that mean it's time to do some sciencey stuff? It sure does, and they're gonna start reviving everyone on the ship, but there is another problem they gotta deal with first. What's that? This guy in the rear palace, Mose, he found out that Kohaku's an imposter. Oh no! And then Ginro's gonna find out that the supposed master of the island is actually really just someone who was petrified by this guy Ibara, right? Who's actually the ruler of the island. Yikes. And so Ibara's gonna stab Ginro, and it looks like he's gonna die. Oh no, I hear dying. That can be pretty fatal. It can be for sure. And then Kohaku, she's gonna have the bright idea to get the island people to petrify her and Ginro, and we're gonna finally get a look at the petrification device. Oh, we do. We sure do, and it turns out it's this little conglomerate of circles with weird letters on them that activates via English voice command. So essentially it's just Siri if she could petrify everyone on the planet. Yeah, essentially it's just a Siri that can make statues, yeah. So what's the science team gonna do in order to try to stop Ibara? Well, they're gonna try to convince Maz to join their cause. Oh, and does that work? Well, I mean, you know, he's just gonna immediately turn on them the moment that their plan to capture the stone-making Siri device fails, so, you know, not really, no. Oh no, what are they gonna do? Well, funny you should mention that, because they actually made a gun specifically for this scenario, but then Magma, he's gonna steal it because he wants to be a main character again and try to kill Ibara with it. And how does that go? Oh, you know, just the most terribly, and so Senku's team, they're gonna have to free Hyoga from the prison cell and try to get him to fight Maz. Oh, I wonder how that's gonna go. I mean, Hyoga was adamant avidly anti-Senku the last time we saw it. Pretty well, actually, and Yo's even gonna manage to shoot the stone-making Siri device right out of Ibara's hands. Cool, so that means they win, right? No, not quite, because guess what? Ibara, he's gonna get the stone-making Siri device back and use it to petrify the whole island. Oh no! And so in response to this, Senku and everyone else, they're gonna form a science line. What's that? Well, you know, they gotta figure out how fast the stone-making Siri device moves so that Senku can throw the revival fluid up in the air and hit him at the exact right time, or otherwise they're all screwed. Why couldn't he just let himself freeze in a position where he just, like, let it drip on him or something? Because this is way cooler. Oh, I didn't realize it would be cooler. Yeah, go ahead and do that then. And Senku, he's gonna manage to unfreeze himself, and this is gonna lead to a giant final fight with Ibara. Oh, what's gonna happen? Well, he's gonna unfreeze Rysuui, and then he's gonna use him to pilot a drone. Wait, since when do they have a drone? Since always. And so then they're gonna manage to use the drone to capture the stone-making Siri device from Ibara, but he's gonna get it back. You know, it occurs to me, these guys are really just playing hot potato with higher stakes. It is gonna feel that way for sure, and then unfortunately Rysui's gonna get frozen again, but not before he attaches the radio earring device into the stone-making Siri device, and Senku's gonna speak through the machine in order to, you know, freeze Ibara. Oh, so they won for real this time. They did win, yes. Cool, so now what? Oh, well, you know, it's time to unfreeze everyone and actually get some exposition going on in here. What kind of exposition? Well, you know, they're gonna listen through the radio and hear a synthetic voice of Senku's who's trying to specify the petrification range of the Earth into the stone-making Siri device. That sounds like a potential for a far more stony Earth than they currently have, for sure. And so they're gonna deduce that WHYIS WHY-MAN is the one behind this message, and he's actually coming from the moon. What? How'd he get there? Unclear, but they've got to go to the moon now, so the first thing they're gonna do is go home and wake up Skaza. Oh, and so, you know, do they do that? They sure do, even if the stone-making Siri runs out of battery, like, immediately after. Why'd that happen? Well, because, you know, this way we're like, oh, is it gonna work on Skaza or not? Essentially, it's just gonna add to the tension. Fair enough. So the next stop on the worldwide cruise is a stop in the Americas, because they need to get themselves some corn. Why do they need the corn? I mean, it's great on 4th of July, but other than that, I don't really see a use for it. Because you need the corn to make the alcohol, and the alcohol you need to revive people. Yikes, that sounds like a lot of information. I don't really know if our audience is gonna be able to keep track of it. Oh, don't worry about that. I've got a plan. Hey guys, Anime Pitch Meeting here. Hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, then click over here because there'll be something that you probably want to watch next. And if there isn't, click anyway. You know, you never know what might happen. You might enjoy it. Anyway, I'll see you in the next one.